Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is week 2 of the Fort Worth Fabric Studio Matters of the Heart Mystery Sew Along, their Valentine quilt. As if you remember, we made 4 of these heart blocks last week. Today we're going to make 8 of the shattered block. We have nearly 130 half square triangles to make, so not difficult but very tedious. So we better get started. Okay, so here's all the fabrics that we need to make all of these half square triangles. We're doing the 8 at a time method, so I'll show you that here in a minute. Your pairings are your ballet pink background and the X's and O's and hearts with the red, the ballet pink and the ballet pink background with the heart toss, and the red, I can't remember if they called this firecracker or whatever that was, blender, background blender with the pink background, the ballet pink. So what you're going to first want to do is, you can see on this one, I already did that, you're going to want to draw a line corner to corner because we're going to sew on both sides of both of these lines, a 1/4 inch away from the line. So that's how we're going to make our 8 at a time. And I'm going to put all these other ones aside. We're just going to do one together today. This is going to take a bit of time, so don't feel like you need to have all these done in an hour, because I really don't think that's possible unless you sew real fast. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew on both sides of the drawn line this way and both sides of the drawn line this way. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, now that I have that done, if you've got a rotating cutting mat, now would be a good time for it. I don't have mine out right here and handy, so I'm just going to do this without, especially because I know there's some of you at home that are going to not have one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my center point, which should be about 4 1/4 if you cut correctly, because this is we're starting with 8.5 inch blocks, and I'm going to trim this vertically, and then I'm going to leave my pieces where they're at. If you've got, this is where the rotating cutting mat comes in handy, because if you've got one, you can turn it to cut. That's 4 1/4 again that way. So now I've cut that in half vertically and horizontally. If your pieces come apart like that just did, you can just take these apart. But if they stay together, especially if you have a rotating cutting mat that tends to help, you can keep them together and then cut on this diagonal, which I'm going to go ahead and do the one way. I'm going to get this one out of the way. So we've cut those apart. And then you can cut on the other diagonal as well, but I'm just going to cut these apart separately since they came apart. It's really hard to get them lined back up again if they've come apart. But this is the way you can do it if they do come apart. So, like I said, it's a bit easier if you do have a rotating mat, but not required for sure. Okay, so now we've got all these pieces. We're going to iron all these or press all these, and I'm going to press them towards the print on all of these. And for this one, you need 4 for this block. For the other 2 pairings, the X's and O's, the heart red, you need 6. And for the ballet pink heart toss, you need 6 as well. So 4 of these, 6 and 6 of the other 2. So you'll have extras, but save those because that'll be for the next block. So for this one we need 4, or for one block we need 4. So now you have 4 others for another block. So we're making 8. Yes, 8 blocks all together. So close my rotary cutter for a minute. Get my iron ready over here. We're going to press all these. And then after we press them, we're going to trim them down to 3.5 inches square. These are larger, so there's a little bit of room for error. So if you didn't get like the perfect 1/4 inch, no worries. There's definitely room to fix these. So trim them up. If you like the block lock rulers, that'll help. If you like the Clearly Perfect slotted trimmer, that will help. It'll take all these dog ears off too. You'll do that before you press them open, of course. I have both of those rulers. I like them both. But I'm just going to show you with a regular ruler so that you know you don't need to have a specialty ruler. So far in my quilting career, if you want to call it that, I have found that unless you're really making a specialty block, like a Dresden plate or something like that, you can do most things with a regular ruler. I know that there's a lot of specialty rulers out there, and they try to get you to purchase them, but I'm telling you that most of the time I find a way around the specialty ruler and just use regular rulers, because specialty rulers are really expensive. If you don't mind spending the money and you like them, I'm not saying you shouldn't get them, go ahead and get them. But I know there's a lot of people, aka me. I have a family, I have 4 children. I can't afford, you know, every specialty ruler that comes out, and some of them are pretty pricey. I had a friend recently who had to have a specialty ruler for a class, and it was $55 or $60, I don't remember which. That's a lot of money for just a ruler. And after the class, she's like, I will never do this again, because there's a technique that she didn't so much enjoy. So I feel like that's a lot of money to spend on a one-time use thing. So that was a very expensive quilt. All right, now that I've got these pressed, and you'll press all of them, I just did the 4 so we can do the one block together. You're going to want to trim these down to 3.5 inches square. Now, the other colors you'll need, like I said, 6 and 6. So go ahead and do the same process. Sew, cut, press, and then trim. And then we'll put all of it together. This is kind of a busy week for me, so I will not have all these blocks done today. I am going out of town in a couple days, so I've got a few things to get ready. So maybe I will finish them tomorrow or Wednesday, because I've got a sew day on Wednesday. So that might be a good day to get them done. And after this week, we have only 2 more weeks left of this sew along. This is a fast one. And we'll get this done just before Valentine's Day. So if you are fast and you're a quick quilter, you may have this done in time for Valentine's Day. I'm just putting my 45-degree line on my ruler and trimming off all the way around both sides, giving myself plenty of room on both sides to cut off excess so I can make these blocks as square as possible. Now we're doing one block together, but I would say that probably chain piecing well, you can't really chain piece these, but I would say doing all your half square triangles at once will be a lot better for you. Instead of doing one block at a time, it's going to go a lot faster. It'll feel like you are sewing and cutting and trimming half square triangles forever, but I promise once you get them all done, then your blocks will come together really fast, and so it'll feel like it was worth it. Okay, so there's those 4. Once you get the red ones, the red heart ones, and the pink heart ones done, then you're ready to put your whole block together. And the red, this red is going to touch or go inside, because these are the corner units on all of these. Follow the diagram, but it's the X's and O's and then the light pink. And then here's the centerpiece. I've already put it together just to save some time, because really the part of this that's difficult is that it's not really difficult, but it's actually a pretty easy week as far as like technique. It's cutting and trimming and pressing 130 half square triangles. So that's the difficult part. So it's every other. So it's red, pink, or solid red, not solid, but you guys know what I mean. Darker red, red, pink, darker red. And then we have the X and O's, again, red, pink, pink, red, the darker red, pink, red, and then the darker red. So every other. All right, let's sew this block together. Excuse me. It has gotten really cold again here in Ohio. It had gotten really cold and then warmed up, and now it's cold again. So because it's cold, we've had to turn the heat up in our house again, and when we turn the heat up it gets really dry, so it makes me cough. So sorry about that. This winter can't figure out what it wants to do. If it wants to be winter, spring, fall. It's been a really strange winter. Okay, I'll do this one and then we'll press them, and then we'll put the rows together. Okay, so that, let me get my pressing board. So I'm pressing each row in the opposite direction of the one previous to it so they can nest. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we can put this together. Looking like a block. Only have to make 7 more. So just make sure that if you're not a pinner like me, that all those seams match up. Or if you're a pinner, yeah, definitely pin those seams. Okay, that one looks good. Now the other one. And the X's and O's with the hearts is directional. And I didn't really notice it right away. So if directionality, I thought the hearts were both directions, but they're not. So if directionality means something to you, like if you like your stuff going the same direction, definitely pay attention to that. If you do the 8 at a time, you can get all the pieces going the same way. Okay, there's that. There's one block. Okay, so I'm gonna press this and come back and show you my block all done, plus show you again just kind of a recap from last week, and we'll talk about what comes next. Well, thank you for sewing along with me today. It's always better to sew with friends. So far we should have 4 heart blocks, and if you have been ambitious and finished them all, 8 shattered blocks. I need to finish them all. I'm working on the half square triangles now. I will definitely finish them before Monday, but they won't be done today because I've got a bunch of stuff I've got to get done. Maybe Wednesday during my sew day. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Monday for week 3 of sewing, and then the following week after that will be week 4, which is the final assembly. So this is a really quick one, and I can't wait to see what it looks like because so far I'm loving these blocks. This is really cute and different for a Valentine's quilt. You a lot of times see X's and O's and just plain hearts, and these are different kind of hearts, and I really, really like this block. So super excited for this. Can't wait to see what it turns out to be. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful week. See you soon. Bye.